Speaking of kids, the Phillies went viral over the weekend. Major League Baseball went viral. It was a Phillies game because some guy hits, I don't know if it was a home run or a foul ball. I wasn't watching the game. I'm not a Phillies fan. But the ball goes into the stands and some guy, well, I'll just play it. You see it yourself. There we go. I guess it's a home run, left field. Goes into the stands. Everyone's running for the ball. 3 or 4 people running for it. The young guy, or middle-aged guy gets it, grabs it, gives it to his kid. This is sweet. And then some lunatic lady with crazy colored hair walks over, starts screaming at the guy because she wanted the ball, and he took the ball. And then oh no. He points to it. He says it's in his kid's mitt. She starts yelling at the kid. Oh my goodness. He gives the ball to this woman. He takes the ball out of his kid's mitt and gives it to this woman. Oh, man. That's bad. I don't want to beat up on this father. He's already being beat up nationally and internationally. And, you never know. You don't know what you're going to do in that situation. I like to think I wouldn't have given that lunatic woman back the ball. But, you never totally know what you're going to do in that situation. Obviously. Just to establish this. If this happens in the future, we don't need to beat up on the father too much. I'm sure he feels bad enough about it himself. And then the Phillies later came out and they gave the kids a bunch of nice stuff and they had a meet and greet and probably gave them more baseballs. So, okay, whatever. But obviously, he should not have given the woman the ball. She was a crazy woman. She needed to be put in her place. And if she was going to make a scene, she should have been ejected from the ball game. Under no circumstances should we give these crazy ladies the baseball out of our kids' mitt? Obviously. I'm sure he thinks that now, so I'm not going to beat up on him too much. But no. She needed to be taught a lesson. And this is something in our society we don't do anymore. I see this a lot. Husbands get dog walked around by their wives. I see it all over the place. I travel all over the country. I see it all the time. Husbands get dog walked by their wives, and it makes both the husband and the wife unhappy. You don't want that situation. No woman wants to be married to a guy that she can just drag around by the collar. And no husband wants to be nagged to death by his wife. You need a loving relationship in which the husband is the husband and the wife is the wife. Now, in this case, these two are not married, obviously. I don't know this woman's situation, but obviously someone needed to put her in her place. Go to donewithdebt.com. Are you drowning in credit card and loan debt? You're not alone, but here's something most people don't know. September is actually the best time to negotiate with your lenders. Why September? Credit card companies and lenders are doing year-end accounting and desperately need to clear problem accounts from their books before audits begin. This creates a narrow window where they're far more willing to cut deals than any other time of year. Done with Debt has cracked the code on this timing advantage. They know exactly which companies are most motivated to negotiate right now and use this insider knowledge to get results you can't achieve on your own. Best part, no bankruptcy, no new loans, no credit damage. In fact, most clients end up with more money in their pocket within the first month because they're no longer drowning in minimum payments. But this September window will not stay open forever. Once Q4 hits, lenders tighten up again and your leverage disappears. Get started now while you still have time. Go to donewithdebt.com and talk with one of their specialists for free. Visit donewithdebt.com. That is donewithdebt, donewithdebt.com. You don't get to be a middle-aged woman and walk up to a sweet little kid at a baseball game and take the baseball out of his mitt. What the hell is wrong with you? Are you insane? Are you going to take a lollipop from a little baby too? This woman is cartoonishly villainous in this instance, and she should apologize and she should send the ball back to the kid. I'm sure she could do it. The Phillies obviously have the information for this family. That woman, if she has any dignity, any self-respect, any sense of right and wrong, should mail the ball back to the kid with a lengthy apology letter. That was wrong. Do you know why it was wrong? It wasn't even just wrong because 3 or 4 people are trying to grab the baseball at the game and the dad gets it and he goes back to his kids and hands it to the kid. And she thought that she had her hand on it or she was supposed to get it. That's not even why it's wrong. Though, whatever, finders keepers. It's a baseball game, guys. I've been around a lot of baseball games, a lot of foul balls, and finders keepers in terms of who initially grabs the ball. But do you know the next part of it is? Foul balls and home run balls are for kids. That's really why she's wrong. And I haven't heard a lot of people point that out. That's like that's the deep level. It's not just, well, the dad should have protected his son's right to the ball, or he got it first even, or no. The reason that it was so wrong is foul balls and home run balls at baseball games are for kids. When I was a kid, I loved catching them. It was cool. Now I'm an adult. If I were at a baseball game with my kid, I would catch it and I would give it to my kid. If I were at a baseball game alone, I would catch it. I'd be really happy to have caught it. And then I'd give it to the nearest kid around me, because they're not for me, because I'm an adult. And that's what they're for. Okay? Because ball games are about having lots of fun with the whole family. And it's especially for the delight of kids. Disneyland. I mean, and now, look, we live in this culture where most of the people at Disneyland are like fat 45-year-old childless millennials, eating a turkey leg and hugging Mickey. And that's wrong. It's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. It's okay to have fun. It's okay to do, but you got to do it like with your nephew or something, okay? Or your kids, or you can't. Disneyland is not for you when you're an adult without children. The home run ball is not for you when you're an angry middle-aged woman willing to steal it from a little kid. You know the nature of a thing largely by what it's for. We have lost a sense of what it's for because we've lost a sense that anything is for anything at all. We think that, that explains a lot of the weird sex stuff. That explains a lot of the social decay and confusion. We just think life is about, tickling ourselves until we get bored enough to just rot. You're here to do stuff. That was a good clip. Now stop, ring the bell, subscribe. See you next time.